Hey guys, and welcome back to Flurt. I hope that you're having a really good start to your week. And this week is LGBT week because of Pride Month. So happy Pride Month to all my fellow LGBTQ people and their straight allies. If you got the spring edition of Flurt magazine, you'll know that my entire coming out story is in there, but obviously you can only write so much in about 1,000 words. So this is kind of an extension off of what I have already written, basically. So growing up, I didn't really realize that there was such a thing as being gay because of my Catholic upbringing. I was pretty much in a mindset that it was just men and women, and there was no such thing as women and women, men and women, any genders in between. I guess I never really questioned it, and I was often teased growing up. I was called a lesbo a lot by some bullies, and I guess I didn't really grasp the concept that it was anything other than wrong because of the fact that people were aiming it in a negative way. Then of course it turns out later that it would come true, and that kind of threw off a lot of my bullies. I know that, like, when I was still in the closet, there was one bullying instance that I had that somebody made some kind of derogatory comment towards me and was like, oh, you must be gay or lesbian, blah, blah, blah. And I pretty much shocked them by being like, well, what if I am? What's the big deal? And at that point I was in high school, so I was part of my school's GSA, but I was still considered straight to all my classmates. It would turn out my junior year of high school. I came out to my parents about a week and a half before my 17th birthday, and actually missed National Coming Out Day by one day because I came out the next day instead of on that day. But I was actually forced to come out, and which is something that I don't recommend ever making anybody do, because coming out is a mindset and a process, and you have to really be okay with the idea to do that. Otherwise it can cause a lot of issues. Like, while I am glad that I had somebody force me to do it, I'm also resentful that I didn't have more time to emotionally prepare myself for what was going to happen. Obviously, being Catholic, it didn't go over very well. I had a lot of issues in my household with me being gay. It was mainly with my parents, but it was pretty much expected, and I kind of prepared myself for that just because I knew that it was probably going to happen. It just kind of was a hit and miss zone up until I actually moved out for college. As far as my household goes, things have gotten better since I've moved out. While things aren't necessarily perfect, they've definitely improved, and that's honestly just enough for me, knowing that there's improvement and that it's not as bad as it used to be, and I can feel a little bit more open with my family on my sexual orientation and being able to talk about people I'm dating and other situations. After coming out to my parents, I guess for as far as high school, I wasn't terribly concerned about what people thought of me, just because I was like, you know, I'm getting out of here in 2 years, less than 2 years. So after I leave high school, who really cares what they think of me? So I had no issue being open with it in high school. I actually was president of my school's GSA for 2 years, and incidentally I ran it with my ex. I didn't care. But when I did move to college, I went to 2 different Catholic universities, which kind of put me on edge a little bit because I wasn't sure how people would actually react. And especially when I got to my first college, Mount Mercy, I found that a lot of people had not really had too many experiences being around gay people just because they mostly went to Catholic high schools. So I was pretty nervous about actually telling people right away, and so I would try to get to know people better before telling them, and then eventually I just kind of got to this comfortable point in my life where I realized that my sexual orientation just is what it is. There's really nothing I can do about it. It's part of who I am, and it's pretty much a take it or leave it situation. If somebody has an issue with my sexual orientation, that's fine. I just hope that they respect it in the long run, but obviously you can't change what people are going to think about it. But honestly, even with being open, I really haven't had any negative comments towards me. Everybody's been pretty open and accepting of it, or if they thought it was weird, they've opened up a lot to it. I've basically just open about my sexual orientation just because it's been 5.5 years and I did my time hiding beforehand and not being who I was. So it's a process that does definitely take time to get in that comfortable spot in your life where you just decide that you are who you are and it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It's different for everybody. It took me years to get to this point. Some people get through it faster, some people it takes more time, and that's perfectly okay, because at the end of the day, you've got to be happy with where you are in the situation. For me, I stopped caring because I'm happy with who I am. If I'm really genuinely happy with that person, who cares? Because at the end of the day, it's just about me and them. So that's my flirt vlog for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we have a lot of really fun stuff coming up and I'm super excited for it, and I know the other vloggers are pretty stoked. Subscribe, don't forget to comment below, and like this video if you enjoyed it and if it was beneficial, helpful in any shape, way, or form. And you can also check out my actual coming out story and more to it down below. I'll put a link to the spring issue, which you can buy, and also the summer issue is now out. So go check out the summer issue. It's got a lot of really great stuff in it. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week, you guys.